Have you ever felt like your mind is a stormy sea, with waves of thoughts crashing over you, making it impossible to focus? You're not alone. We've all been there, staring at a book or a screen, but our minds are a million miles away. Today I want to share a story that might just change the way you see your own mind. It's a story about a young student named Ethan who felt just as lost as you might feel right now, and how he discovered the incredible power of a focused mind. Ethan was a bright kid, full of potential, but he had one major problem. He couldn't concentrate. His grades were slipping, and his dreams felt like they were drifting further and further away. He'd sit down to study, and within minutes, his mind would wander. He'd think about the game he played yesterday, what his friends were doing, what he wanted for dinner, anything and everything except the task at hand. Frustration grew inside him like a weed, choking his confidence. He felt like a failure, trapped in a cycle of distraction. He desperately wanted to succeed, to make his parents proud, but his own mind felt like his biggest enemy. One afternoon, feeling completely defeated, Ethan went to see his favorite teacher, Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris was known for his wisdom and his calm, reassuring presence. He listened patiently as Ethan poured out his frustrations, his voice trembling with disappointment. "Mr. Harris," Ethan said, "I feel like my brain is broken. I just can't focus. I try, I really do, but it's like there's a constant buzz of noise in my head." Mr. Harris simply smiled, a kind and knowing smile. "Ethan," he began, "your mind isn't broken. It's just untrained, like a wild horse. It has immense power, but you need to learn how to guide it. True success, my boy, doesn't start with books or exams. It starts with a peaceful, focused mind." That day, Mr. Harris promised to teach Ethan 5 simple lessons to tame his wild horse. He explained that these weren't magic tricks, but timeless principles for mastering one's own attention. Ethan, desperate for a change, listened intently, ready to try anything. This was the beginning of a journey that would not only change his grades, but transform his entire life. Are you ready to learn these 5 lessons with Ethan? Let's dive into the first one. Lesson 1, Mr. Harris explained, is the art of the quiet pond. He told Ethan to imagine his mind as a pond. When you are distracted and anxious, he said, your mind is like a pond or in a storm, muddy and turbulent. You can't see anything clearly. The first step is to let the water settle. He taught Ethan a simple breathing exercise. Find a quiet spot. Close your eyes. Breathe in slowly for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4. And then breathe out for 6. As you breathe out, imagine all the noisy, jumbled thoughts gently flowing out with your breath. At first, Ethan found it difficult. His mind kept racing. But Mr. Harris encouraged him. Don't fight the thoughts, he advised. Just acknowledge them, like clouds passing in the sky, and gently return your focus to your breath. Ethan practiced this every day for just 5 minutes. Slowly, miraculously, he started to feel a difference. The constant buzz in his head began to quiet down. He found that after his 5 minutes of mindful breathing, the pond of his mind was clearer. He could think more easily, and the feeling of being overwhelmed started to fade. This small, simple habit was the foundation for everything else. It taught him that he wasn't powerless against his thoughts. He could choose to create moments of inner peace. This is something we can all do. Just 5 minutes a day to let the mud settle in our own mental ponds. With a calmer mind, Ethan was ready for the second lesson. The power of one thing. Mr. Harris explained, our minds are not designed for multitasking, Ethan. When you try to do many things at once, you do none of them well. The secret is to pour all your energy into one single task at a time. He gave Ethan a practical challenge. When you study, he said, put your phone in another room. Close all the extra tabs on your computer. Set a timer for 25 minutes and promise yourself that for those 25 minutes, you will only focus on your history chapter. Nothing else. After the timer goes off, you can take a 5-minute break to stretch or grab a glass of water. Then, start another 25-minute session. This technique, often called the Pomodoro technique, was a game changer for Ethan. The idea of studying for hours had always felt daunting, but 25 minutes, that felt manageable. During those focused bursts, he was amazed at how much he could accomplish by breaking his study sessions into small, focused intervals. He was no longer fighting his own mind. He was working with it. The task became less of a mountain and more of a series of small, climbable hills. This simple shift in approach made studying feel less like a chore and more like a focused, productive activity. Next came the third lesson, which Mr. Harris called understanding over memorizing. He noticed that Ethan was often trying to just cram facts into his head without truly grasping them. "Ethan," he said, "learning isn't about filling a bucket, it's about lighting a fire. Don't just read the words. Ask questions. Why did this happen? How does this connect to what I already know? Try to explain the concept in your own words as if you were teaching it to someone else." He encouraged Ethan to draw diagrams, create mind maps, and even talk through the material out loud. "When you truly understand something," Mr. Harris assured him, "it becomes a part of you. You won't have to struggle to remember it because it will just make sense." Ethan started applying this to his most difficult subject, science. Instead of just memorizing formulas, he tried to understand the principles behind them. He'd pretend he was a science teacher explaining photosynthesis to a younger student. This forced him to simplify the information and connect the dots in a way he never had before. Suddenly, complex topics began to click. Learning became an act of discovery rather than a boring task of memorization. His curiosity was ignited, and for the first time, he actually started to enjoy the process of learning. He wasn't just studying for a test. He was expanding his understanding of the world. The fourth lesson was about breaking down big goals, building a wall, brick by brick. Mr. Harris saw that Ethan would get overwhelmed by the sheer size of his assignments. A 10-page essay or an entire book to read felt impossible. "You don't build a wall all at once," Mr. Harris said, using a simple metaphor. "You'll lay one brick perfectly, and then another, and then another. Soon, you have a strong wall. It's the same with your work." He taught Ethan to take any large task and break it down into the smallest possible steps. For an essay, the steps might be: 1. Understand the prompt. 2. Brainstorm ideas. 3. Create an outline. 4. Write the introduction. 5. Write the first body paragraph. And so on. Ethan started using this method for all his projects. Instead of a to-do list with write essay on it, his list had 10 small, manageable bricklaying tasks. Each time he completed a small step, he felt a sense of accomplishment, which motivated him to tackle the next one. The feeling of being overwhelmed was replaced by a sense of control and steady progress. This lesson taught him that even the most intimidating goals are achievable if you just focus on laying one perfect brick at a time. It's a powerful strategy not just for studying, but for any big project in life. Finally, Mr. Harris shared the fifth and most crucial lesson: the strength of daily practice. He said, "Ethan, none of these lessons will work if you only use them once in a while. Focus is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Consistency is your greatest ally." He emphasized that it wasn't about being perfect every day. "There will be days when your mind feels stormy again," he admitted. "That's okay. The goal is not perfection, but persistence. Just show up every day. Practice your breathing for 5 minutes. Do one focused 25-minute session. Lay one brick." It's the daily repetition of these small habits that builds a powerful, disciplined mind over time. Ethan took this lesson to heart. He created a simple daily routine. He started each day with his breathing exercise. He used the Pomodoro technique for his homework. He focused on understanding, not just memorizing. He broke down his big assignments. Some days were harder than others, but he stuck with it. Weeks turned into months, and the transformation was incredible. Ethan was no longer the distracted, frustrated boy who had walked into Mr. Harris's office. He was calm, confident, and in control of his attention. His grades soared, but more importantly, He felt a deep sense of peace and capability he had never known before. He had learned that the greatest power he possessed was the power to direct his own mind. Ethan's story isn't just a story, it's a roadmap for all of us. The 5 lessons from Mr. Harris are timeless truths that can help anyone at any age reclaim their focus and change their life. To recap, 1. Your mind like a quiet pond with mindful breathing. 2. Focus on one thing at a time. 3. Seek to understand deeply, not just memorize. 4. Break big goals down into small, manageable bricks. And 5. Practice these habits consistently, every single day. These aren't complicated secrets. They are simple habits that, when practiced, lead to profound results. True success and inner peace begin with a focused mind. You have the power to train your mind. Start today. Start small and watch how your world begins to change. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. If this story resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. What's one small step you'll take today to build your focus? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay focused.